ancient secret.
Okay.
Well, officially start here. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to see you all here, and I'm so honored that you've joined and said yes. And in a couple minutes, Nate, my friend Nate, is going to come on. He's an energy master that has literally taught me how to be blindfolded going through an obstacle course, being able to have this 3D X-ray vision to go through that. He's broken pieces of metal with his finger, does miraculous healings. And it's so important to experience this because this is an ancient secret from the royal family of Indonesia that has cracked the code on so many things, including strengthening your auric field. And if you're having trouble with boundaries, health issues, manifestation, relationships, right? It's all based off how reality is interacting with you and your auric fields, your magnetic field. And so are we plugging in those holes? Are we strengthening it, right? We're going to the gym to be fit, to be healthy, but what about our energy field? So this is the first time I've really found an energy master that resonates with me, that has such an open, pure heart, and really has these superhero codes that I feel like is our birthright, right? God gave us an energy body to be designed to be able to do these things and to thrive. And so I'm really, really excited that Nate is here in a minute to share some ancient secrets with us. And this is part one of a series. So we're going to be doing an even deeper dive next week in our membership academy. And there's so much epic stuff going on there. So I'm really excited for you to experience this. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce my good friend, Nate, and his incredible system to transform your life and upgrade your energy body. Thanks for being on, Nate.
Daniel, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. I would love to bring this back to me. All right, we have a spotlight there. I'm going to remove your spotlight. All right. So, wow, this is a very interesting view that I get to see of myself right now. I'm going to go back over to my PowerPoint presentation because I actually have something for all of you here today. Now, everyone here, when I look in the chat, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh my God, we have the entire globe represented right here. And that's such a blessing for me because my work, my life, I actually came back from the dead in 2007 because I have a mission to help all of humanity. So as we jump into this presentation, I'm going to ask a couple things for everybody. Please make sure that you have water. Water is good for you. Unless you're drowning, you need water. We're going to be doing some exercises today. We're going to, I don't want to just be a talking, floating head over here on the screen. What I want you to all walk away with 3 very important techniques that you can use to level up and improve your life and your health right now, anytime you want, anywhere you are. So we're going to be going over some really important things here. First one is the most important threats to our health today. We're being bombarded in a way that we never have before. The human organism was not designed to be under such attack from our water, food, air, even our own mind. And so we're going to address that a little bit today. Then I'd like to tell you the history of the Integrated Ascension Method, what I teach, what I bring to the world, and how I help humanity. But then we're going to dive right in to actual breathwork techniques that you can use today. And it's going to be something that's hopefully eye-opening, maybe a little shocking, but that's exactly what we all need in order to start taking action and making change. Then I'd like to tell you a little bit about how you can actually learn this system at home because there's nothing else like it in the world. Truly, it's a rarity. And I'm so honored and blessed to be able to bring this to everyone. It's been a challenge for the past 25 years to do so when also being kept kind of under the stringent eye of the royal family of Indonesia of what we could release. And then at the very end, I'm going to teach you an energy refreshing exercise that no matter where you are, in 2 minutes or less, you can take your energy from wherever it is to a 10. Clear and feeling amazing. So the one thing that's going to help me more than anything else is participation. So I'm going to ask for a little bit of help from everybody out there. I'm going to give you every bit of energy that I have. I'm just going to ask the same from you in the form of keystrokes. So if you are ready to launch, please type a 1 in the chat. Let's see those ones. I want to make sure everybody is ready. Has your water, has some space you can spread out your arms, and you're really ready to learn some new things today. It's like we've got a lot of 1s. I'm loving it. Okay, so we're going to talk about some things that maybe you've really pondered, maybe you haven't, but what is life? I mean, we know we have it. We know it's all around us, but what is it? Well, life is energy, as we know, and energy is life. Now, we talk about that in a philosophical sense. We believe it. But the important thing is to actually step into and know what this is, because belief is a poor substitute for knowledge, flat out. A lot of belief is great, but it's also limited, as we know. Now, since energy is life, how many of you have ever felt like this? Just type a Y in the chat if you've ever felt like this, maybe today. It doesn't matter, anytime in your life, or had some bills come due and the stress of maybe not being able to pay those, or maybe having just barely enough, or having it be larger than what you thought it was going to be, really took you to that edge where you're just like, oh my God. And you start producing the cortisol, you start producing these stress hormones that in every single way, they limit you. And anybody out there, if you're a business owner, if you are a parent, if you, let's just say you're adulting on the world, in the world, this is something that we all felt. You know, the medical proof is out there. It's even on the CDC website that over 90% of all disease is caused by stress. That means we literally have the potential to kill ourselves. But we also have the ability to make ourselves well. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go through maybe some daunting figures, but this is a worldwide audience here. So some of these things may not apply exactly in this order to your country, but here in America, the number one cause of death, and this is worldwide, is heart disease. And this is a pulmonary affliction, right? It's the blood, it's the heart. Number two in America is what's called iatrogenic death, which means it's caused by doctors, it's caused by medical malpractice, it's caused by misprescribing medicines. So the scary thing is that in the United States, the medical field kills more people than number three, which is cancer. Now, this is caused by numerous things. It could be your environment, it could be your genetics, it could be your blood, it can also be your thoughts. It can be the way that you are consistently showing up in the world. And sometimes, and I know many people, and maybe you do too, that have actually given themselves cancer in order to make a big shift in their life. One of my exes, she did that. She gave herself non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she fully admits it, in order to get out of a marriage that was not fulfilling her. And then she recovered. Life was amazing. But these are things that who knows where they come from for every single person, but we know that they're present. Number four, respiratory and pulmonary. So things like influenza, COVID, COPD. Worldwide, this is a massive problem. And a lot of people don't really necessarily know how much this affects them. But the respiratory and the pulmonary system, I mean, it's the engine that keeps us going, right? Our heartbeat and our lungs. We've got to have these things in working order. So when we're under attack, wouldn't it be awesome to have something that could help strengthen that so that you didn't have these things as much? Number five is stroke, also a pulmonary affliction. So when you get a blood clot, so something's wrong in the circulatory system. Now, with all of that said, we're all going to have the same destination sometime, unless you're a vampire, right? And you're a Highlander and you live forever. We're all going to have this same end. So then we really want to ask ourselves these important questions. Which one of those things is coming for me? It's important to ask that question because eventually one will, most likely, unless you have an accident or something like that. Then there's also Alzheimer's, which is also going up. So the next one is, what can I do about it? You know, in this age of medicine and technology, can you hear me okay? Okay, if I could have everybody please mute while we're here, I will ask for questions a little bit later. Thank you. But as we go through our lives and we see more and more medical advancements, more and more pharmaceuticals, more and more ways that you can cure this or that, why are these diseases going up then? Well, it's because we're bombarded with poisonous air, food, water, social media, media in general, EMF, 5G, all these things that our body wasn't designed to really take on. And then a really important question, depends on how much you want to have a great lifespan, health span, and ultimately a fun span. Am I willing to try new things? Doesn't mean try everything, but if there's something out there that you can do that's simple, it's easy, it's quick, it's natural, hopefully you'd be willing to step into that. So what we get the opportunity to do is really shift gears. We're going to shift our mindset. We're not going to be thinking about the negative things anymore. I just wanted to point those things out. Get your mind working on this because that is reality. When you think about what is real, that is reality. We don't live forever, and one of those things might be in our future, and we don't want that to happen, right? So shifting gears involves trying something new. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the Integrated Ascension Method. Now, in this system, no matter what you've done, maybe you're a Reiki master or you've done Wim Hof breathing for years and years, it doesn't matter. You have never done anything like this. I can guarantee you that. So the Integrated Ascension Method is a literally measurable by science in so many different ways, way to have more energy, to increase our lifespan, to have deeper passion, which of course we all want, have a greater connection to ourself and to source, and have higher performance. So if you're an athlete or you're a CEO or you're a mom, you're going to have the ability to do more with less time, less energy, less effort, and because you have more on tap. Now, all of this comes from a very special royal ancient art. The name of the art is Merpati Putih, which that sounds funny in English, but in Indonesian, it means white dove. So in most martial arts, when you think of like their logo or their spirit animal, you think of like the red dragon or a black tiger or something like as a fighting animal. So when I came across Merpati Putih and I'm like, white dove for a martial art, peace and justice for humanity, that was very intriguing to me. And it's been around for a very long time, held within a royal family in Central Java for close to 500 years before they released it to the Indonesian public in 1963. That's as soon as it actually got outside the palace walls. And it was during a time in Indonesia called the Indonesian genocide, which, if you look it up, it's a time, a really dark time, where over 500,000 people were killed in 6 months by the government in Indonesia. So the royal heirs, they actually released this to help people, first of all, defend themselves from the violence. But second, they wanted to help people be able to be more energetically aware and connected to their daily environment and to everybody around them, and help them really realize that when I hurt someone else, I'm actually hurting myself. Those are good words until you actually feel the pain of another because you're so connected energetically to them if you do something that harms them. And that was really their mission, is to help people in Indonesia awaken, but they had never trained a non-Indonesian person. So that's a story for a moment. I think all of us in our hectic daily lives where we're kind of strapped in a lot of ways, we all want more energy. We all want to have more passion. I mean, after all, we all got here through the same process, right? All of us. And a lot of us lose that because there are myriad reasons. But that's actually a program that I'm going to be introducing very soon, is one specifically for this, to help people revive what they've lost or take what they're already, where they're at, through the stratosphere. Living life longer. There's an old country western song. The title is "Everybody Wants to Go to Heaven, but Nobody Wants to Go Now." You know, every single day, about 150,000 people die on the planet, and half of them didn't even know it was coming. So to be able to live a longer time, it's not just that. It's about having a greater experience, a greater fun span, if you will. And that's, we're all about having fun here and having a deeper connection to source and to other people. They say that no man is an island. But why is it that when people are put in solitary confinement, they go insane? We need human connection. But so much of what we do in our daily life and how we're programmed in our societies is so superficial. It's not actually that deep heart connection with other people on a daily and regular and all the time basis. This helps us with that. And then high performance. It doesn't matter what sport you do. If you're a soccer mom or you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you're a swimmer, you're a mountain biker or a rock climber, you like to walk upstairs and not be out of breath. This is for you. This is just amazing what it does for the body. So to introduce a little bit about myself, because Daniel did a great job. My name is Nate Zeleznick, and that's underneath, that's how you say it properly, Zeleznick. As you can see, I was raised in the mountains. No, literally, I was raised in the mountains of northern Utah. And as I was growing up, I had embarked on my spiritual journey in a very unique way. I was highly bullied from the age of 5 until about 16 because I was not part of the predominant religion here in Utah. And I was the only kid who wasn't. I was the small one. I was the youngest in my grade. I was an easy target. I didn't stick up for myself. And so I was physically and emotionally abused. I mean, kids would come to my house during the summer break to kick my ass. I had a really, unfortunately, well, at the time, it was unfortunate for me, a lot of abuse from my mom. She had some chemical issues. So I wasn't safe anywhere, ever. And at 11, I started becoming suicidal. I thought about it every single day, like almost all the time. And then something amazing happened. And some of you may have had this experience before. I started having spontaneous astral projections. So if you can just imagine, like, when you go to sleep and you lay down and then your body gets really heavy and your blanket feels like it's 1,000 pounds. And then you start to lift up out of your body and you actually feel free for the first time in your life. And you're able to journey and travel and have adventures. And you didn't have anyone there to hurt you. It was just an amazing experience that my soul, my higher self, gave me to help keep me on the planet. And as I grew up, I always, my whole life, I saw Star Wars and I saw ninja movies and I wanted to be a ninja Jedi. That was my most biggest, oh, if I could only be a ninja Jedi. First of all, I'd have superpowers. Second of all, nobody would pick on me. Well, growing up in a small town, the only place there is to do martial arts is on your brothers. And my brothers didn't appreciate that. But when I got to be a little bit older, I joined a karate dojo in a strip mall. And the thing that was lacking, I mean, it was a beautiful environment. I loved the workout, very physical person, but I didn't have the spiritual, or the internal, the meditation aspect. And I didn't know where to find that. So I went on a quest after out-of-body experiences, getting involved with the Monroe Institute and all of their tapes and their trainings and being able to do this more at will, learning everything I could about spirituality and martial arts and studying different martial arts and actually as a scholar studying different kinds of martial arts that I didn't have access to. I had something happen to me that I like to call a synchrodestiny. And maybe you've had this too, where a synchronicity happens and your life is never the same. From that second forward, you are a different person and you have a mission. Mine took place when I was about 23. And I got a course out of Black Belt magazine guaranteeing me inner power in 2 weeks, or I got my money back, which of course, as a Westerner, I want instant chi. I don't want to work for it. And I didn't have any place to work for it anyway here. So it was a totally bogus manual. It didn't have anything of value there, but it did have a VHS tape that showed people from Indonesia doing martial arts that I had never seen before. It just blew me away. On there, it had people who were breaking not just boards and bricks, but they were breaking stacks of steel bars, stone, feet, like 20 feet of bricks, smiles on their face, barely touching the stuff, having a great time. And that was cool. I'd broken a couple bricks. But then I saw people who were blindfolded, who were running through obstacle courses. They were driving cars through traffic and even had military people, soldiers who were able to shoot targets out of people's hands while they were blindfolded. But the thing that really got me was people who were blind, who could read printed material. And of course, being skeptical, I'm like, prove it. Prove it to me. It looks wonderful, but I saw David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty disappear. Magicians do stuff. But after so many out-of-body experiences, I thought to myself, like, really, okay, maybe Jedis are real. And I didn't think a lot about it until the next day, when I watched a blind woman almost get killed in front of me trying to cross the street in front of my car. And I knew right then I had to find those Indonesian people, and I had to see if they could help that lady. So if you've ever had a synchrodestiny, something that changed your life forever, please type a Y in the comments. Let us know if you've had something like that that really shifted your paradigm. Yeah. See, for those of us who are on the path of consciousness and awakening, we pay attention to these things. So many people miss their synchrodestinies and they live a life that is, we'll just say, lackluster. They live the same day for 85 years and they don't really live a full life. Now, when I first saw these things happening, and I was so, I'll just say it was a spiritual command. I decided I was going to reach out to these Indonesian people, and I did. And I sponsored the very first demonstrations of this art in America. Now, I'm wondering if this is actually going to play. It's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to share my screen in a different way because I really want you to be able to see this. All right. So as I bring this up, hopefully you can see this now. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. It looks like a thumbs up there. Okay, I'm hoping that the sound comes through.
Even a person with 20/20 vision can't see the
thumbs up if you can hear that. Okay, awesome. Sean, you are my guidepost here. You're letting me know.
Even a person with 20/20 vision can't see the protons, neutrons, and electrons that give these people power to ride bikes, play ball, and read without braille.
By this exercise, I throw out my glass. I can read now without glass.
And that's not all. Patients can lead normal lives by identifying colors, people, and objects without touching them.
It is something that the Western world needs to be privileged enough to experience as well.
That's the reason why Nate Zeleznick of Huntsville paved the way for the Indonesian group to make their first public appearance in the United States at Weber State University.
Awesome. And you can see my whole studio set up behind me. Thanks for so as we jump back into the PowerPoint, it's going to load in just a moment. So when I saw all of that, and I really got the opportunity to learn that we can see with our mind and not just with our eyes. And I got to see these blind people. They could drive my car around my neighborhood. They came in and they cooked me food, and they knew where all the utensils in my house were. They were able to see through my clothing. They were able to, one of them was able to see my baby brother had had a ski accident and had a metal rod in his leg, a titanium rod in his left femur. He walked in the door, was turning around to close it, and one of them said, "Why does he have metal in his leg?" They didn't even know he was coming over. So these things are amazing abilities, and they're not that far in science fiction. We have these things that we can do that we don't really tap into. So after they were going to leave, the chairman of Merpati Putih, he looked at me and he said, "Nate, we're going to do something we've never done before. We want you to be the very first person outside Indonesia to learn Merpati Putih, because what you're doing here, we can see you're sincere, and you have to know what we do in order to help us do this." And there just happened to be a trainer within 45 minutes of me in the whole country, in the whole United States. There were 3 people authorized at the level to train me. One was within an hour's drive. Coincidence? Think not. So I started training with him, and a couple of weeks later, one of my younger brothers joined me, and we embarked on this journey as like 2 lions going out from our cave to spread light, really. And a year later, after a very rigorous training regimen, we hosted the Royal Heirs to come back to Utah and actually test us, train us, initiate us, and inaugurate our school as the very first outside branch of Merpati Putih, even though there were thousands in Indonesia. And over those years, the 20 plus years, we made several long training sabbaticals to Indonesia to be trained directly by the royal masters and the most advanced trainers there. Now, to give you a little bit of background on me, as far as Daniel put it best, but just a lot of people like the facts and figures. So for 20 years, We owned one of the largest martial arts and meditation academies in the United States. Personally, since my spiritual journey started when I was so young, I've amassed quite a few hours of meditation training, martial arts training, and also teaching around the world. As I mentioned briefly before, in 2007, I died during one of the Merpati Putih tests in Indonesia. Yes, they're that hard. And I decided to come back because I have a mission. This method can do so much good for so many people so quickly. I couldn't leave yet. That'll happen eventually, right? And I've had the opportunity and blessing to train thousands of people of all ages. Now, many of us, during the pandemic, we lost our businesses. The yoga, dance, martial arts fields were incredibly hard hit, including mine. But that was a blessing. There were so many blessings from the pandemic if we look at it that in certain ways. Of course, there were definitely downsides, but it gave us the opportunity, and gave me specifically the opportunity, to create training for people around the world. Instead of having people trained to come to me or having me fly to them, now I could put this into a digital format and I could share it with the world, where people can learn in their house instead of making a long pilgrimage, which is really convenient for those of us that have jobs and kids and a life. So I still do a lot of private, small group and large group training for corporations, for private groups, and for CEOs and professional athletes. But I really love the fact that people can go online and they can actually learn this and immediately get some benefit. So do you remember that photo with the respiratory illness and that guy with the on the ventilator? It's a pretty shocking image, right? That's a friend of mine by the name of Drew Brophy. Now, in this picture right here, you can't see Drew. His wife is actually front and center, but Drew was back a little ways. And why that's really relevant is after he got out of his, well, let's just say this way. Drew was on a ventilator for 70 days. He holds the world record for being on a ventilator the longest and recovering. He was in a coma for 30 days, and when he woke up, he was paralyzed from the neck down. Now, Drew is one of the most well-renowned big wave surfers in the world. And COVID took everything from him. So when I met Drew 11 months later at this event in Costa Rica, Drew could barely walk up 3 stairs. And when I asked him what was going on, he told me about his COVID and his near-death experience. And then we did this exercise, and this is the exercise we're going to do in just a moment. It took 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, Drew was starting to tear up. And I asked him, Drew, what happened? And he said, Nate, this is the best I've been able to breathe since I got COVID. And the next day, that beach that you see down behind us, we went down there and Drew taught me how to surf. That's not what's cool. That's not what's impressive though, because Drew paddled out and caught waves for the first time since he got sick. He had enough energy and enough lung capacity after doing this exercise twice for 5 minutes to actually surf again. So if you're inspired by something like that and would like to have a transformation like that in your life, go ahead and type oh yeah, Nia loves Drew and Maria. Who doesn't? Nia, are they not like 2 of the most epic humans you've ever met? Yes, 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 yes. Good. Well, it's time. Okay. So now you know a little bit about me and what I'm bringing to you. But I would like to actually, I don't think this is going, nope, it doesn't do this. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop my share, go back. I need to go back to my PowerPoint, and that's just fine, because this is a very important part of this so that you actually understand what this does. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have everybody do, I want you to be sitting down someplace that you're not going to be. If you're driving, you can do this. Just don't close your eyes. In 5 seconds, I'm going to have you take a big breath in and just hold it. Okay. Take a breath in and hold. Now, just relax. What I'm going to have you do is I just want you to pay attention to when your body starts telling you, I need to breathe. I've got to do this. Where does that suffocation response kick in for you right now. Notice how your body feels. Tension that you're carrying, and let it go. Nowhere in, nowhere out. It doesn't matter where you are on this, but just notice. And then when you breathe out, and it doesn't matter where you are, when you breathe out, I want you to look at your time and type it in the chat. Okay, we're coming up on 50 seconds. Some of you are pretty good breath holders already. That's a minute. Good. Great. We're going to stop at 1:30. Some of you are great breath holders, and that's great. I want you to notice at 1:30 where your level of discomfort is. Just pay attention to it. Just, yeah. Good. There we go at 1:30. Awesome. So now what I'm going to have you do, because we always want to have a baseline of before and after, right? And this is a stark improvement for a lot of people. And I'm not going to preface it with anything like, oh, you will. Let's just find out. I'm going to have you do a specific type of breath exercise. It's very simple. Science has shown that the human body has a perfect breath rhythm at 5.5 seconds for an inhale, 5.5 seconds for an exhale. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you always breathing in through your nose fully until your lungs are completely full. You can even raise your shoulders up just to take and put a little bit more of the more air in there. And then as you exhale, relax and breathe out through your mouth until you are empty, and squeeze a little bit extra out. Okay, so you're going to breathe all the way in and all the way out. A lot of people have never actually taken a full breath in their life, not that they can remember. So we're going to use a cello tone. So as you close your eyes, I'm going to have you start to breathe in and breathe out. All the way, squeeze it out. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. In, relaxing your body, full breath, and out, letting any tension go as you breathe all the way out, and continue with the tones. Stomach extend, draw the air deep in your lungs, and breathe out from the top down like a wave. We're halfway there, and breathe out. Just a little bit more. Breathe all the way in through your nose, fully exhale all the way out until you have nothing left, and squeeze a little bit more out. And just a couple more. So as you sit and you just breathe normally now, most people don't breathe like that, although they really should. What we're going to do is we're going to do another breath hold test. So in 5 seconds, I'm going to have you inhale and hold your breath. Here we go. Take a nice breath in, relax, and hold. Notice the internal awareness of your body, of your heartbeat, of your energy, of your posture, of your tension. Let your tension go. With every heartbeat, say to yourself in your mind, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every breath and every heartbeat is a gift. No moment ever comes again, and there is no such thing as an ordinary moment. So as you settle into this quiet calmness with your breath held, just notice when you have to exhale, take note of your time. It actually shut off, but we're now at 1 minute. 1:10. 1:15. 1:20. 1:30. Just kind of round, like guess where you are in there. 1:40. 1:50. I'm going to stop at 2. And there's 2 minutes. All right. So wherever you were at, go ahead and type a yes in the chat if you held your breath for longer. 101 to 2 minutes. Wow. And we stopped at 2 minutes. Woo. Awesome. 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 Okay. I love it. So that's actually, results are typical. I have to say, when it comes down to breathing properly, results are typical when it comes to that. So with that in mind, a lot of people don't know this, but over 90% of the human population only uses about 15% of their lung capacity. That's it, 15%. So if you think about this, what would happen to you if you started using, say, 20 or 30%? It's been shown, and this is absolutely now proven through large-scale studies with tens of thousands of people over the course of decades, that the number one indicator for longevity is breath capacity. Breath capacity is the number one thing that will help you live longer, but it's also something that absolutely craters as we get older. So somebody who's 80 has about 30% less lung capacity than they did when they were 30. I hope that makes sense. 30% less capacity at 80 than when you were 30. So just by breathing deeply like this, and you can even get this free on my YouTube channel. I've got a great DMT and dopamine breath with the perfect breath after it right there. But I want to teach you something very special right now. This is the first exercise that anybody ever learns in the Merpati Putih method. Type in ready if you're ready to rock this. And yes, supposed to breathe in through your nose, not with your mouth. Breathe out through your mouth. Good. Looks like we're ready. Fantastic. I love it. Now, what you can expect from the Garuda method, this exercise, is going to open up the energy lines from your chest all the way out into your hands. It's also going to help expand your consciousness and your sensitivity to energy. When it comes down to seeing without your eyes, that skill, this is where everybody starts. You can also use this to shield your body energetically. And I actually have programs online that teach you how to do that. We're not going to get into that today, but it is definitely doable. It's an amazing, like an electric curtain around you. And this helps to extend and expand your auric field substantially. How cool would it be if people could feel you walk into the room before you entered the room? Some of you probably already have that happen. This is just going to magnify it and make it better. All right. So here's me in Indonesia after my near-death experience, actually, the next morning, and doing the Garuda. And so this is the posture we're going to be taking. It's important that you're sitting down. This is never done standing. This is always done sitting down, either on the ground or in a chair is fine if that's all you have available. So we're going to go through the motions first. Then we're going to learn the breath. Then we're going to marry those two things together so that you will be able to do them both. We can't see your slides. Please go ahead and Karen says I can't. Okay, Bridget can. Okay, Karen, are you able to see me? I can. So it looks like we have a lot of people who can. So Karen, as long as you can see me, I think that's actually the most important part. Okay, is that you can see me. Now I'm actually, now that you can see what it looks like, I'm going to switch to me so that you can see. This is so bizarre with the background. Okay, that's all good. I did not plan this, but okay, I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach. So when we do Garuda, it's going to be a 4-step process. We have 4 steps. Now, 1 and 4 are exactly the same. 2 and 3, definitely different. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off in a namaste prayer posture like so. This is where we start off. Now, for step number 1, we're going to do this in a 6 count. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you bend at your waist and rotate your hands forward, so that we end up here at the end of 6. So we're just going to come down for 6. We're going to put our hands here. And as we bend over for 6, rotate your hands. Now, step 2, we're just going to sit up quick. Super simple. So here we go. We're going to come down. We're going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, bending all the way over. And then step 2, we're going to sit up. Pretty simple. We're going to do this a couple more times. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step 2, pop up. One more time, and then I think you've got it. We're going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pop up. Very good. Now I think we're good. Now step number 3 is where we actually do the thing. So when we do Garuda, we're going to end up in that posture that I had on the screen before. But to get there, we have a very specific way of aligning the energy lines in our body. So for step 3, we're going to have our arms come out front for a 4 count, like we're pushing on a wall. We're going to come out 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now our arms are locked out. You don't turn to the side. I'm going to turn to the side to show you my arms are locked out. Fingers are pulled back as hard as I can. I want to flex the top of my forearms, stretch the wrist, stretch the bottom of the forearms all the way back to the elbow. So we're like this. Good. Now we're going to spread our arms out as wide as we can for a 4 count. 2, 3, and 4. Good. All the way out. Now please make sure that you're sitting down, not standing up for this. And we're going to bring our hands all the way back to the front. 2, 3, 4. And we're just retracing our steps back to our chest and back to our chest. 2, 3, and 4. Very good, like that. Now let's finish that with step number 4, which is the same as 1. We're going to bend over at the waist, rotating our hands forward. Down 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can just sit up at our own pace. We're done. Okay, so that is Garuda. Now it's important as we go through this, it's going to be really helpful if you say the name to yourself, Garuda, the eagle. From here, let's do it again. We're going to come down for 6. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Step 2, pop up. Step 3, arms come out for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They spread for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We hold for 4, pushing our chest forward. 3, 4. Back to the front for 4. 2, 3, 4. And back to the chest for 4. 2, 3, 4. And down for 6. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Looks like, and I'm not quite sure, it looks like Joan is having trouble seeing most of the small video top left. Joan, if it helps, if you click on me and pin me, then you should be seeing me. Hopefully that helps. All right, let's go through Garuda a couple more times. Okay, I'm not full screen, Bridget. I don't know why I wouldn't be. I'm spotlighted. Let me turn off my PowerPoint. Does that help? Yes. Okay, that's a PowerPoint thing. Sorry. Zoom just did an update, and as we know, Zoom does its thing. All right, so here we go. Let's do it again. It's not as nice as Sandy background, but that's okay. I do a lot of filming in my house. So here we go for Garuda, coming down for 6. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step 2, pop up. Step 3, arms out for front for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and spread. 2, 3, 4. Hold the posture and push your chest forward for 4. Now back to the front for 4. 2, 3, 4, and back to the chest for 4. 2, 3, 4, and then bending over for 6. 1, 2, rotate those hands. 5, 6, very good. And then we can sit up. Please type a 1 in the chat if you're feeling confident on this motion so far. I mean, I'll get there. We're not there yet. Just breathe normally, everybody. Cool. I like it. Overachievers. You're learning quick. I like it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start using this breath. Now this, no matter what kind of breath work you've done, I've never seen any kind of breath work like this. This is based upon pressurization of the pulmonary system to create an inductance field of energy through our entire body, 60,000 miles of blood vessels. So yeah, Zach, this is just from the movements. Yes, as we start to do this, Merpati Putih is a full body mudra system. It's a moving mudra system. So just like with mudras, where you can take different circuitry in your body and connect them through your fingertips, we do that through the entire body. It's very unique that way. There's nothing really like it. So I'm glad you're feeling something. So what we're going to do now is we're going to learn this breath. Now with this breath, the more you put into it, the more you will benefit from this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you take a breath in. I'm going to have you make a high-pitched S sound like. Now, I don't know if the noise cancellation is going to be stopping me from being able to do this, but when we actually, I'm going to go original sound for musicians, and that should hopefully take it out. So as I exhale, I want to smile. I want to squeeze my stomach. I'm going to get all the air out as much as I possibly can. And then I'm going to inhale through my nose into my stomach, or not into your stomach, but your stomach comes out. And then no more, just your stomach. Then I'm going to have you raise your diaphragm up and push the air up in the top of your chest, pulling your shoulder blades back. And then we're going to exhale. Then inhale, stomach. Push the diaphragm up and in, arch your back. Push it all the way up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale. Inhale up. Very good. Very good. Awesome. All right. So now, pretty simple, right? What we're going to do is I'm going to have you close your eyes. The rule number 1 of this breath work. Okay, let me tell you a little story. Why? Because the why is always good, not just the how. When I first came across that manual I told you about way back in 1998, and I saw that method in that little manual before I found Merpati Putih, all they said was hold your breath as long as you can. They didn't say anything else. And one time I was doing it, actually very soon after starting, took in this big, deep breath. And people, I'll get right there. I'll get right there. Yes, you do breathe, stop, and then pull the diaphragm up. Yes. So as I was doing this, I felt what I can, if it were a sound, it would be a pop in my left eye. And my eye filled with blood, and I went blind for 3 days in that eye. Merpati Putih is not easy. It is so more than worth it, though. But safety first. So first rule of holding your breath in Merpati Putih is never open your eyes, period. For any reason, don't. Just don't. You won't gain any benefit, but you just definitely put yourself in danger. So as we exhale, eyes closed. As we inhale, push the air up. As we inhale, stop, push the air up, and we're going to hold it. Eyes closed. And then we exhale from the top. And then we can open our eyes. Imagine, if you will, that you have a car and you step on the gas and you take the engine all the way up into the red, and then you just shut off the engine. I've never dared to do this with my own car because I like my car. I like having transportation, but I know that something's bad's going to happen if you just put it at 10,000 RPMs and then knock it to nothing. So we have to make sure we come down to idle. And that's when we exhale. We're taking that all the way down to idle for our engine or pulmonary system. Okay, type a 1 in the chat if you understand why it's important to come back to idle. Good. Good. Nope. Well, don't be the first person to test this out of what it's like to shut your engine off at 10,000 RPMs, please. So now, as we do this part, what I want to do is we're going to marry the breath with the movement. But first, I want you to take your hands out like this. Okay, I want you to bring your hands about shoulder width and just notice if you feel anything in between your palms as you start to move your hands closer. Maybe it's a tingling, a vibration, a pressure, a magnetism, whatever it might be for you. Just notice where that starts to occur for you as you bring your hands in with the palms facing forward. Our hands are very, very sensitive. Okay. Now, as you do this, just notice now where it's at. That's all. Good. That's all, just a baseline, another baseline. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the movements of Garuda with the breath of Garuda, and we're going to marry them together, and we're going to superpower our system, essentially. So let's go quickly over the motions. With our eyes open, you don't need to hold your breath on this. We're going to go over the motions with a false breath hold. So and I'm like doing the, well, in Indonesia, it's called dada, pushing it up. Dada means chest. And when you get it, it's like, dada, you really got it, you'll know. But pushing it up. But I'm talking right now when I do it. I mean, we do this on a regular basis. Around puberty, boys suck them in, girls push them out. We start breathing incorrectly all the time when we're young. So we all know what it's like to have the vanity. And I'm talking while I'm doing it right now. We don't have to close our eyes unless we're under that pressure, okay? So here we go. From here, we're going to, first of all, inhale. For step number 1, we exhale down for 6 seconds. Down, exhale, 2, 3, rotating those hands, 5, 6, hold it out. Step 2, inhale. Now we can push the air up. Now keep breathing. We're going to bring our hands out for 4, 2, 3, 4. This is all the breath hold when we do it for real. Spread them out for 4, 2, 3, 4. Chest forward for 4, 3, 4. Back to the front for 4, 2, 3, 4. Back to the chest for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then down for 6. Down 1, 2. This is where we exhale. 6. Good. And then slowly sit up. Let's do it again. Just mock, pretend, play like. Here we go. Inhale, push the air up. Exhale down for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step 2, pop up. Good. Push the air up. Now, breathing, normal. Arms come out for 4, 2, 3, 4, and spread. 2, 3, 4. Push your chest forward. 3, 4. Back to the front for 4, 2, 3, 4. Back to the chest for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down for 4. Excuse me, for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. And sit up. We're going to go one more time, and then I'm going to have you close your eyes. Yes, for right now, Muriel, yes, we breathe normal for right now because we're just walking through with our eyes open. For the visual, kinesthetic, and auditory learning systems, we have our eyes open right now, and we're just pretending like we're holding our breath. After this one, though, we're not going to pretend. We're going to actually do it. Okay, here we go. Pretending play like we're holding our breath, but not for real yet. Here we go. Inhale, push the air up, exhale down. Rotate those hands forward. Step 2, pop up. Good. Push the air up. Now keep breathing, but keep the diaphragm pushed up. Out for 4, 3, 4, and spread. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and back to the front. 3, 4, back to the chest, 2, 3, 4, and now exhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Okay, good. Now we see some, I'm going to clear up all the confusion right now. Okay, so the hand rotation, Pipa, is this. Okay, for step 1, we exhale down. Step 2, we sit up and our hands go like that. I hope that helps. So the S sound is important because the pressurization of our system, just like the pressure or the compression in an engine. So we start off with pressure, we exhale, take the pressure down, inhale. Once we push that air up, we're at a very strong pressure because we're pushing the diaphragm up, and it is to force more pressure in the lungs. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why it's very important at the end. Now, the question I'm sure is on everybody's mind, when do we actually hold our breath? I'm going to show you right now, and then we're going to do it, okay? So from here, just watch me. I'm going to exhale down. I'm going to inhale up, push my air up, and from here, I lock my breath. My glottis is locked off. So all of this, I have my breath held. My diaphragm is being pushed up. I am not breathing in or out at all. I am tensing my hands, tensing my arms, relaxing my neck and face, pulling my hands back. Diaphragm is pushed up and in, and I am not breathing at all for this whole motion. Then when I'm here, I exhale. And then I can breathe in again. Does that make sense? Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. That we, on number 3, we hold our breath. Now, we're going to be pushing tension in our body, pushing our fingers together, our palms together, our arms together, activate our chest, our shoulders, our triceps, pushing hard. All of this, we're under tension, co-contraction, contraction and co-contraction. So my entire arm is tense, not just one part or one little bit. The part we don't tense is our face and neck. Lauren, I'm sorry, I didn't offer a number 3 as far as an option. I'm not quite sure what that means. So number 3. Oh, you mean step number 3. Step number 3, we hold our breath. Okay, so let's go for that. Here we go. I will lead you through. So when you hold your breath, extend your arms for 4, spread for 4, hold for 4, back to the front for 4, back to the chest for 4. Then I'll tell you when to exhale. We're going to go rather quick. Listen for my voice. Eyes closed. Close your eyes. Bring your hands up into your namaste prayer posture. Feel like, imagine, visualize like there is a piece of fire, hot coal in between your hands, right in your palms. Now push your hands together. Take a breath in and close your eyes. Exhale down for 6, down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step 2, pop up, inhale, push the air up in the diaphragm, arms come out front, 1, 2, 3, 4, and spread them out, 2, 3, 4, chest forward, 2, 3, 4, back to the front, 2, 3, 4, back to the chest, 2, 3, 4, and now exhale down for 6, 1, 2, 3, squeeze it, 5, 6, and then slowly breathe in. Good. Very good. Okay, with that in mind, we're going to do it again.
To walking trail.
I'm going to mute everybody. Boom. Okay, good, good, good. So for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you exhale down, inhale up on my commands. Then all of this, pushing your diaphragm up. All of this is done as slowly as you can until you get back to your chest and you're like, I need to breathe out right now. Exhale. In case you find yourself up in la la land and you're like, oh, I'm going to die. Bring your hands back here and exhale. Always finish the motion. We're doing a full body mudra for the entire energy system in the body. So don't come just like and blow up. Bring it back. You got this, and exhale. Okay. But this part, number 3, you do as slowly as you can. Here we go. Bring your hands up into your namaste prayer posture. Visualize, imagine, and feel that you have energy, vibration, frequency, heat in between your hands. Push hard. Take a breath. Pump it up. And exhale down for 6. Down, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way out, all the way out. Inhale up. Push the diaphragm up. Now complete the Garuda motion. Arms come out front like you're pushing on a wall. Spread them out as wide as you possibly can. Tense your hands, pull them back. Tense your shoulders and your arms. Relax your face and neck. Bring them all the way back to the front like you're pushing on a wall when you need to. And then back to the chest, pushing as hard as you can. Push that air up and hold it as long as you can until you have to exhale. Then bend over at the waist. Rotate your hands forward. As you exhale, strong. Good. Now close your eyes. We're going to measure our energy again. I want you to take your hands out. All the way out past your shoulders this time. As you do this, start to bring your hands in. So your hands are out past your shoulders. As you start to slowly bring them in, notice where you start to feel the energy, the resistance, the magnetism, the pressure outward. Now drop your shoulders, relax your arms. This should be a very relaxed thing. Down by your waist, your elbows could be at like 90 degrees. So that way you don't have stress and strain in your neck or your shoulders. Start to bring them in. Notice when you start to feel something there. Good. Now with this ball of energy in between your hands, we're going to put the energy in one hand more than the other. So imagine like you have a bottle of liquid in your hands and you want to get all the liquid to one end of the bottle. So you're going to rotate your hands so one is on top and one is on bottom. Now putting the intention, I am placing all of my energy into my bottom hand. Once you have that intention set and you can start to feel the weight of the energy in your hand, drop your other hand down and just feel the weight of that energy in your bottom hand. Now we're going to have some fun. I want you to bring your hand up so that it is shining on your face from about 1 foot to 1.5 feet away. And I want you to move your hand across your face from side to side. Close your eyes. Let this be an internal experience. Notice what you feel on your face and notice what you feel on your hand. Slowly, slowly. If you're moving fast, you will not get it. Slowly feel it. Yeah. I like those smiles that I'm seeing. If life is energy and energy is life, you're alive. That means you're energy. Good. Now I'm going to have you with this energy in this hand. I want you to place it over your heart center, right in the center of your chest. And feel that energy recycling back into your heart. With love and reverence for this day that you get. The odds of you becoming a human were 1 in 400 trillion. 1 in 400 trillion. How beautiful is it that you get to be on the planet and alive and experience? It's an unlimited, eternal being of creation. And as you breathe and you feel this love, this reverence for yourself and for these experiences, for your life, I'm gonna have you take a breath in. Start to move your body a little bit. And as you exhale out, start to, move your body a little bit, bring some sensation back to you. Yeah. Good. So in the chat, please, once you've been able to, I guess, recombobulate, if that's a word, and then bring yourself back, please, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, 1 meaning, well, the lowest I ever, can you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you feeling at right now? 10, 10 plus, 10 plus, 10 plus. Ooh, 11, I like that, 11. Very good, okay. Now, this is a technique, and yes, your body is not used to this breathing. Most people, no, this is a completely new thing. So, and that's okay. It's just like anything else that we do, we get used to it and then we make it harder. That's how we grow. So if people walk into a gym and see a bodybuilder and say, I want to look like that in a week, that's not going to happen. Come on. Right. But we live in a very instant gratification society. One thing that's beautiful about the Integrated Ascension Method is it gives you 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day. If you want to take that much, if you feel that you're worth 5 to 10 minutes a day to feel awesome, it gives you 5 to 10 minutes a day to really connect with yourself and your reason for being here. Yeah, Diana, much love. So much of the time we spend our time as a human doing, not a human being. That's why meditation, Vipassana retreats, body work. That's why things like this is why just taking time for yourself and self-care is so important, because we take so much time caring for everybody else. Now, what I'd love to do now is I'd like to, so I have this amazing person in my life that one of my students, and when I told her I was doing this webinar, she didn't just ask to come on, she actually demanded that she come on and be able to tell you what the experience has been like for her. Amanda, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. She's in her car right now, just picked up kids. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spotlight Amanda and let her tell you a little bit about what, let's see, I'm going to pin her. And I want to make sure, yes, continue. There's Amanda, but we don't have a camera on, Amanda. Did I go to the wrong person? Oops, I did. I went to the wrong person. Did I? I'm not seeing you on. Oh, there you are. There you are. I'm gonna replace the pin. There you are. There are like 3 Amandas in here. So everybody, this is Amanda Alcodia. And Amanda, thank you so much for being here for this webinar. I sure appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Yes. Well, I'm just gonna kind of kick right into it. Amazingly, when I heard that Nate was doing this event and he was like, yeah, we're going to go over Garuda, go over the things. I said, you know what? I'd love to really join you. I'd love to share all the wonderful things. And I, like Nate said, I more like demanded it. And a little bit about myself. I'm a philanthropist, mother, and definitely have a lot of businesses that I'm working on and a lot of projects. And if you are any one of those and anyone who's creative and who's looking for more, like this for me was it. I was able to get through so much of my day and so much of my time by just building a lot of that energy. And Nate, I will say by far teaches it so beautifully and so wonderfully. It is absolutely incredible. So I wanted to share a couple of things that actually I used it for personally. Whenever I go through contracts and I go through certain deals, I like to go through it with that method, with this method. And there's other methods that Nate also teaches, and this is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg to really bring up the energy. But what's really interesting, it's like seeing with not just your third eye, but really seeing kind of the whole field, see what actually works for you. And I remember going through a specific contract and I wanted to see, hey, is this good for me? And I'm feeling into it. I'm going through each page, and I stop at like the most unusual place, really one part of the page that I just was like, no, I need to look and sit at this. I read through it. And sure enough, it's something that I really needed to refine more and get more out of, and something that we need to get more clear on. And, it's one thing to read through all of it, and I strongly suggest it, but it also makes it a lot faster going throughout the day. Even finding my kids' toys, again, this is so last minute. I'm in my car right now. I would normally love to sit up and be more present for you, but my my little one was fidgeting and he couldn't find his toy. And I love that this class was on. And so I was able to go through the room, narrow down where the toy was and calm him down and have him with my mom. It was wonderful. There's so many wonderful uses and wonderful things. But I'd like to also share, because I know Nate, if you don't mind, Nate, can I share the couple slides?
Absolutely. Do you need
Yeah.
me to share them, or can you share them?
Unfortunately, you need to make me a host.
Oh,
I'm
I
on my
can.
computer than this one.
Oh, you are. Okay. And you're a co-host. Oh no, you are again. I did. And then yeah, there you go.
Okay, great. And I literally, we just kind of basically coordinated this. I can't tell you enough how really how last minute this was. And I was like, Nate, come on, let me help you. Let me get this going for you. And I really thank him so much in so many ways, and all the learnings that I've had, and like even just it's time. And I'm going to share my screen with you. And I will say I was slightly jealous because he said that, oh, um, Daniel Raphael is amazing. He's wonderful. He was one of our students before. And he's brought me on and he says so many wonderful things about him. I'm sure you guys know all about him. I don't just yet, but I'm looking forward to meeting him. And so he said he had a code specifically for everybody here. And I want to share my screen. There you go. Great.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
It's still black at the moment. There we go. We have a
Yes.
mountain guy. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So this is just from I asked Nate to help me with this and to put all this together because I really love the way that he puts it and what he can do and what he can share with people. And for many people, I will say yoga is wonderful and amazing. There's so many movements in it, and it's taught to so many people, and it's wonderful and it's so many benefits. But really, going into the royal family and learning this, there's very few people who really, really know this work. And they do try to keep it secret, and I see why, because it's not necessarily something that is very powerful when you do share it and when you do use it. And there's so many opportunities. So the power of the meditation that he unlocks, and then taking the brain and the heart through breath and coherence, and also the feeling between connecting with the energy. I love the way he explains it. So he has multiple lessons, and for everybody, this is the code that he has, and I'm going to put this in the chat as well.
I can do that, Amanda. I'll paste that in there.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, for everybody.
Yeah. And I can't emphasize enough, like this, the rate that he's going with, and all the gifts that he's going to be bringing to everyone here is absolutely amazing. I mean, if you can only imagine having so many opportunities to really sit and go through this and be so efficient with it. Don't get me wrong, I love so many other masters and so many teachers. Nate is wonderful at teaching this and being very patient and kind with it. And I know, Nate, like 200 plus people on a call, and we still have, and still trying to teach so many of you all at once. It's not always as easy as it seems, but get it, when Nate sits with you one-on-one, I will say by far, I was telling Nate, hey, we have a friend who's an athlete. I'm like, you need to teach them all of this, because can you imagine all the healings that they have to go through instead of all the recovery? Like, don't get me wrong, I love biohacking. Biohacking is fun and great and wonderful, and it helps in different ways. But if my body can recover just as fast, and we've seen miracles in its sense, right? And whatever your faith is, to believe and to really see the science in it, you could really feel it, and I'm sure many of you guys can. So I'm going to just go back one more slide. I know I was talking to our friends and who's in his team, and they were saying that they're only going to have this till Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So make sure to get this done. Oh, not Thursday, excuse me. This is supposed to be Saturday, May 16th. So this is limited.
Yeah.
Yes. Till some time. Yeah. So when you guys have the opportunity, please jump on this. And I know Nate has other special things. Do you guys have any questions thus far since I'm here? Let's
And you
see.
can always, I've put the direct link and it already just applies everything for Daniel's code.
Yes.
Yes. So okay, Rima, just to be clear,
Yes.
the promotion on this, the 10% off for Daniel's tribe, that ends the Saturday. But the special class that I'm holding, it's going to be next Thursday, a week from today, same time. And it's only for the people who are in the advanced or the expert leap program. It's not, you have to know the breath work. You have to know quite a bit of it. That's why I'm giving everybody a full week before we do it. And then as Amanda had the other slide up, I'm going to do something I've never actually done before, which is to have 4 classes every week in the month of June on Fridays, in order that you can actually pick my brain. It's going to be a 30 to 45-minute class. You can pick my brain once you've started in the LEAP program. This is only for the people in the LEAP program from this webinar. The other people that have purchased, they will not be invited. Okay, so this is an exclusive thing to have 4 more lessons with me, as well as that extra training next week, from 1 week from today. And I'm going to be teaching something, it's a healing exercise that I've seen literal miracles happen from, but it's not part of the LEAP program. So it's something outside of that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, so if you guys have the opportunity, I'd love to see you guys there. I may join you guys. I will say with 3 boys and a couple of visitors. So I figured this was definitely worth coming on and sharing with you guys. Wonderful. Great. Well, I'll kick it off to you, Nate. If you guys have any questions, you guys always can chat with me and send me any info you need.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I'm just answering a couple questions over there. And everybody, let's type a 1 in the chat, thanking Amanda for her time. This was very difficult to get her on here. And I sure appreciate it, Amanda. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your experience and for letting people know how it's going to help them. That's just beautiful. I sure appreciate that. And we placed the pin there. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to go back to the PowerPoint because we have a few minutes left. Type a heck yeah in the chat if you're ready for that exercise, that energy pumping you up exercise that I talked about at the start. Yes. Okay. Heck yes. It's not going to take very long. So far, we've learned how to fully breathe all the way in, all the way out, 5.5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds out, the perfect breath. We also learned the Garuda. And then we also are about to learn what we call the refresher exercise. So Nomi has a question. For how long should we do the breath work that you showed us before? So for everybody out there, you do this in the morning. It's advisable after you use the restroom, you brush your teeth, before your coffee. Don't put stimulants in before you do this. It's a Garuda. Before you eat, before you do things that are going to stress you out, take 5 to 10 minutes for yourself to sit down quietly. Do your Garuda twice. So you do it once, you're finished, breathe a couple times. Okay, go back, do it again. Really focusing on being embodied, being here, being now, feeling that energy stretching out through your body as you push your aura out every morning, but only on the mornings you want to feel awesome. If you don't want to feel awesome, I'm sorry, I really can't help you with that. And why is creating pressure so important? Daniel, please reach out to me. That is a very big topic. It's a hypoxic breath work thing that requires quite a bit of explanation, but it's very important that you do it. It's not the same if you don't. I'll tell you that 100%. So you do it, whether you know about it or not, it's going to work for you. That's the cool thing about this. It's just not belief-based. It's based upon you having a body. If you don't have a body, I can't help you. But if you do, it's going to work for you, whether you know all the science and stuff behind it or not, because your system is just going to respond to doing the exercises. It always does 100% of the time. So, Amanda, you're so funny. It won't be done as soon as I touch the floor. Yeah. So everybody, we're going to do this refreshing exercise. Can we do it standing up? 10? No, not Garuda. Garuda is always done sitting down 100% of the time. But this refreshing exercise we're about to do, yes, we do it standing up. So make sure that you have some space around you. Make sure that you have some place you're not going to knock over anything valuable. Now, what this is going to do, this is going to help open the energy lines up the front of our body all the way up to our throat. It also helps prime your energy instantly. You're going to have so much clean, long-lasting energy from doing this, and it takes maybe a minute total. You're going to have a lot of oxygen and also a lot of CO2 in your body doing this. And CO2 is the most valuable element in our body, more valuable than oxygen. But most people don't have nearly enough CO2 because CO2 is the catalyst that releases oxygen into our cells. If you don't have it, you can hyperventilate all you want. You're not going to be able to use the oxygen. And this also is going to help us with the connection with nature and our daily environment. So let's see, Mia, with the Garuda, is it only the 6 seconds and 4 seconds, or slow and long? Yes. You hold your breath on step number 3 as long as you possibly can. Exhale for 6, inhale for 1, quick, and then exhale at the end for 6. But for 3, step number 3, you go as long and strong as you can. Okay. Now we're going to do this with love in our heart when we do this exercise. I'm going to stop my share because you need to be able to see me. I'm going to stop my share. Okay. For this one, we're going to stand up. We're going to scoot back. I'm going to talk loud so you can hear me. Now, the way that we're going to do this, and you may not be able to see my whole body. Let's try this a little bit there. Okay. We're going to stand up. We're going to stretch our arms back like so. Okay. So we're going to be stretching from the chest forward, not from the waist, from the chest. I want you to push your chest out. So we're going to be from here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, same as we did before, but only for about 2 to 3 seconds. We're going to exhale and we're going to bring our hands down like this as we bend over. Then we're going to breathe in, push the air up in our diaphragm and stretch our arms back. Exhale down, inhale up. And we're going to do this. It's going to be fairly quick. Please, if you start feeling lightheaded, stop. Open your eyes, just breathe normal, okay? Sometimes this is such a massive infusion of oxygen in the body. Sometimes people are not used to having this much oxygen, and it becomes a problem. So we're going to do this 5 times. We're going to close our eyes, but let's actually just walk over a couple times, just breathing normal, pretending and playing like we're doing this, okay? So here we go. We're just pretending now. Arms back. We're going to inhale, push the diaphragm up like this, exhale down, inhale up, push the diaphragm up and hold it for just a few seconds. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Now on the 5th one, you don't have to bend over. Just bring your arms down in front like this. Done. That's all it takes. Now we're going to hold our breath for a maximum of 5 seconds each time. We don't hold it for a very long time. We're going to exhale for about 2 to 3 seconds. Inhale up, hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. Exhale down, inhale up. We're going to do it 5 times, everybody. So let's get ready. And we're going to do this together. Extend your arms up and back. Close your eyes. Feel this energy radiating out from your body, out into your arms and legs, like you're exploding into the universe. Take a breath in, pump the air up, exhale down. 1, 2, 3, inhale up, hold it, push the air up. Exhale down, 1, 2, 3, inhale up. Keep your legs bent so you don't lose your balance. Exhale down, 1, 2, 3, inhale up. Exhale down, 1, 2, 3, inhale up. We're going to go for one more after this. Exhale down, 1, 2, 3, inhale up. Close your eyes. Really push that diaphragm up. Now just bring your arms down in front. You don't need to bend over. Exhale down. Very good. Now this refreshing exercise, I don't recommend doing it while you're driving, but hey, I've had some interesting things. Like, can I do this while I'm skydiving? I guess you could. That is the proper position, but no, this is something that we want to make sure that we're going to be very safe. But when you do this, just type a 1 in the chat if you ever get tired sometimes after you eat a big lunch. Like you have a body and that happens, yeah. So since we all get tired as we go through our day, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pump your energy right back up to where you were after you did Garuda without having to do Garuda and hold your breath forever? Well, that's what this does. With love in your heart, reverence for being on the planet. Now, for all of you, you've been able to see the special offer from Daniel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually type in my full website. Yes, it should. Well, oh, that's why. Sorry. Let me go ahead and I can't edit, can I? I'm going to delete it. Okay. I just forgot a T. So what I'd like to do now, there we go. Better. You can go and click, go right there. Your screen is behind you. Can't see it. Interesting. Well, Karen, I'm not quite sure. You've had a few technical issues, so you get a very special experience of me today. But we will be sending out the replay, okay? So you'll all be able to see this and do this stuff at home. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, literally scratching the surface. When it comes to energy modalities that you can actually dive into and have a formulary way of doing them, I've never seen anything like the Merpati Putih system. And then Integrated Ascension Method is where I mix in biohacking and brain training with the EEG headsets and vibroacoustic technology and things that nobody else in the world is doing, because it's all about how expansive can we be? How many limits can we shed? And what I'd like to do is now I've got this open. I'd like to take a little bit of time for people. If you want to stay on the call, please make sure, if you're really interested in doing this, go to that link with Daniel's special code. But the thing is, I want to open the question and answer. So if you can stay on just a few minutes longer, I'd like to take maybe 5 or 10 minutes for Q&A, because there were a lot of things coming through. And as I was presenting, I'm sorry I wasn't able to address everybody, but I'd love to get to as many people as I can. I was tired before this class. Now I feel great and my energy feels better. Plus I breathe easier. Thank you, Espen. My pleasure. Okay. Okay, Elizabeth, can you please discuss the full White Dove Method Masterclass full series? Yes. So that's a series of 7 different modules, and we go over things like pain-free mobility, how to have using your mind to control and eliminate pain, different kinds of energy shielding, also how to breathe in different ways to put yourself into a nice, relaxed, parasympathetic state very quickly. Also, it does cover the refreshing exercise that I just showed you right here, but in much more detail. Okay, Daniel, what has improved in your life with the method? Everything. Everything. Starting off with those out-of-body experiences and not knowing really what to do with them. Being someone that felt, even as I was a bodybuilder and a martial artist, I still felt disempowered. So when I started to really feel the power inside myself and be able to use it and be able to walk with this all the time, it changed my entire demeanor. And it has for thousands of my students too. And that's just one thing. I really like the energy pump. Yeah. Timing. Okay, Christopher Luisello. Okay, great. You are all so welcome. And I'm always open and available for questions. So the best way to actually get a hold of me, I'm going to actually type this in. If you would like my personal card, NateZ360.com. You can reach out to me on any of the social media channels. I'm on everything. I have free classes on YouTube and my Integrated Ascension Method channel, but nothing comes close to the leap. Nothing. And it actually, the cool thing about it, honestly, is that since it's not just paradigm based, it works with anything. So if you're an athlete, it's going to help you. If you're a Reiki practitioner, it's going to help you. If you're a meditator, it's going to skyrocket everything that you do. It's just, imagine putting a supercharger on an engine. It just is better. It just is better. And that's what this does. Okay. So, oh, look at that. My neck pain is almost gone and cough loosened up. Anisha, yes, do this every single day. You'll be amazed at what happens when you start really taking care of your pulmonary system, because most people never think about their breath unless they're out of it or if they're sick. But 29,000 times a day, we have an opportunity to, first of all, bring ourselves into present awareness using our breath, but also to feed our body exactly the fuel that it needs, because breath is life. We all come in with an inhale, we all leave with an exhale. But most people ignore it the whole time they're here. Okay, Zach, no, the practices I taught today are not on YouTube, but we will have the replay coming out. And these are also things that, if any of you are interested in being an affiliate, I also help people out who help me spread this good word. Okay, so Barbie, there are offerings at the bottom with 7 modules for $244. Are those recorded versus Leap being live? So no, the Leap is not live. The Leap is 24 different classes. The masterclass is 7-hour plus long classes. So when you look at the Expert Leap, that includes the whole shebang, all of the Leap program and all of the masterclass program. For the masterclass, for those of you who are really interested in energy work, the masterclass may be your cup of tea, but most likely not. If you're an actual energy worker, you're going to want the Leap. And the Leap Fast Track gives you the motions, and you can get a lot from the motions, but the advanced and the expert are really where you want to go. If you want the breath work and all the different meditations, the guided meditations, it's a different world. How long is each module? Well, each module may have, just for Richard Hoffman, each module has maybe 3 to 6 classes in it. So it really depends. There are shorter classes, but they're also, I mean, you're learning something. You're not just, if you sit down for a class, we've gotten very used to, bite-sized chunks of 5 minutes, this, 5 minutes, that. But when you're learning something this detailed and this powerful and important, it might be a 30-minute class. It might be an hour-long class, because to get you the knowledge that you need for each different technique, it's going to vary based upon that. Okay. Yes. Okay, so Norma, you have a great question. Interested to know how this breath works so quickly as opposed to something like Sudarshana Kriya for like 45 minutes. So you remember that pressure thing, that holding the breath, it's intense. It's intense. So, you can walk on the treadmill and get great results, or you can go over to the squat rack and put 400 pounds on it and you can do squats. You're going to be working your legs both ways. Merpati Putih is the CrossFit of the energy work world. Full stop. That's really what it is. But the cool thing is, you can flip baby tires at the start. You get to work at your own pace. So it's not based upon anybody else, just your own potential. Okay, Katie, incredible today. Do any of the classes involve the blindfold portion? That is private training with me. That is not something that we will ever put online. Any of the trainers, that one's forbidden to be put online from the royal family. So, but in person, yes. So if you'd like more information, Katie, please, with that NateZ360.com, you can go ahead and reach out to me, schedule a clarity call or a breakthrough session with me. Happy to discuss that with you. Amina, do you teach how to feel and protect using our energy? Absolutely. That is our stock and trade. So yes, the Leap teaches that. Are there 2 different trainings, Leap and something else? Yes, I have my Leap program and I have my masterclass. The masterclass is honestly for people who are just barely scratching the surface on breath work and energy work. For the people that really want to go to the stratosphere and beyond, the Leap is the way to go. Okay, Sam, I'm sorry I didn't get to answer replay of this. Yes, we are going to be sending out a replay. So check your emails, everybody. If you haven't done that, please reach out to me or reach out to Daniel and Nat, and we'll make sure you get it. Let's go through. How do I find the masterclass? So Karen, for the masterclass, you'd go to iamapure.energy and just go to courses up there. Yeah. So courses, you just a little drop-down menu and go over to masterclass. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So I apologize for going a little bit over time, but time is actually relative. And we live in the quantum, right? So it's all, none of it exists. But in all sincerity, thank you very much for this opportunity to be here with you and to help you in any way that I have. Like any tool, it's only as good as the usage of it. So if you have a whole box full of hammers, but you never take them out, it just holds down that space in the planet. So please use your Garuda. So it's Karen, it is iampure.energy, not .com. It's right. Yeah, let me go ahead for Karen. I'm going to go ahead and put this in iampure.energy. Yeah, it's kind of a interesting website name, iampure.energy. Fantastic. Beautiful. And if there's ever anything else that I can do for any of you, please reach out. I'd love to see you in my future webinars. I'd love to see you in my classes and courses. I'd love to be able to assist you. That's why I came back to life, everybody, is to be able to help. I'm here to show a path that you get to walk yourself. I'm not a guru. I'm not going to say you can only get to the light through me. No. We are all the light. I just happen to steward a method that helps people find, use, and walk toward their light faster than anything else that I've ever seen. And I'm grateful and honored to be able to do so. So with that said, I'd like to sign off and say thank you again for everybody. And thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Nat, everybody. And thank you, Amanda, for being here. And I hope you all have a great now and a great day on purpose.